Hey y'all, this week's lesson is entitled Who Me? It reminds me of this trilogy called The Matrix. The main character, Neo, finds out that he's supposed to be this special person. And another character named Morpheus begins to tell him about this prophecy, and Neo is the one who's supposed to fulfill the prophecy. Now, Neo is not excited at all about what he has just learned and is not wanting to do what Morpheus is telling him that he was designed to do. And it reminds me of the prophet Jeremiah, because that's what this week's lesson is all about. Jeremiah being called as a young man or a young teenager by God to do some things that were not so popular and not so easy to do. But this week I have my homie, Pastor William Lee, and he's going to share with you about his call when God called him to the ministry. Hey, Pastor Lee, why don't you share your story with us?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Pastor William Lee, and when I think about my call to ministry, I didn't have a burning bush. I didn't have, God striking me down off of a horse and not like that. When I think about my call to ministry, it really starts as a boy growing up in a family that kind of nurtured my spiritual growth. I think about a father and a mother who brought me to church and taught me about Jesus. I know I'm extremely fortunate to have parents that loved me and loved me into a relationship with Christ as well. I'll never forget it. I was at Tuskegee University my first year of college, and I was studying to be an engineer. And my first year of college, I could sense that God was doing something in my life, right? The previous year, my senior year of high school, I had preached my first sermon. God moved in a marked way, and I was like, man, this is not too bad, In my first year of college, I was on the campus at Tuskegee, and I was walking up to my dorm, and I could just sense a feeling like, man, God is going to do something with me, and He wants to do something marvelous in my life. I didn't know what it was, but I kept on praying. So I was at First Tuskegee Church there in Alabama, and the pastor had 3 other churches. So it gave me an opportunity to do ministry there. I'll never forget it. Virginia Reed was her name. She asked me one Sabbath afternoon. She said, "Brother Lee, do you want to go to jail?" Do I want to go to jail? I'm like, no, I don't want to go to jail. She was like, listen, you need to go to jail with me. I do a jail ministry, and we every week we preach and teach to the inmates there. And I was like, Sister Reed, I'm good. I'm a student at Tuskegee. I really don't know anything about the jail like that. And she was insistent, right? She was like, no, brother, you're going to jail with me. And I went to jail that Saturday afternoon. When I got to jail, man, I saw people that looked just like me. Probably people that looked just like you as well. I was my same age. The brothers there, the sisters that were there. I'll never forget it. She started singing songs, and we were on the men's side, then we went to the women's side. And at the end of that, she looked at me and she said, "Brother Lee, share what the Lord has placed on your heart." I don't have anything. She's like, no, share what the Lord placed in your heart. And I can remember Jeremiah chapter 1. Like Jeremiah, the Bible told Jeremiah that before you were in your mother's womb, I ordained you. I called you as a prophet. And what I did for the next few moments, I read from Romans chapter 8. And I preached from Romans chapter 8 that all things work together for the good. Even though you may be locked up, God has a plan for your life. And God's going to do marvelous things. And for that moment forward, God began to bless. They started calling me pastor. So I went to Oakwood, and I fulfilled my mission. I have no greater joy in the world than being a pastor to this very day. God's going to do something great with you as well. Just watch and see God fulfill His call in your life.
Hey, thanks, Pastor Lee, man. That's what's up. It's not easy accepting the call to ministry, and we can probably all identify with the prophet Jeremiah. All right, listen, we got some discussion questions that First Lady Angie is going to share with you right about now.
Has being a Christian ever made you unpopular? Have people ever made fun of you for your religious beliefs and practices? Have you ever had to miss out on activities because they conflicted with the Sabbath? Have you ever had to tell friends that what they were doing was wrong? Have you ever had to speak out against bullying, even though you knew you might get bullied? Let me know what you think.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed this week's lesson recap. Over the next few weeks, we're going to kind of get in a little bit deeper in the story and life of Jeremiah. So I just want to give a shout out to Pastor William Lee, First Lady Angie, for helping me out on this video. Anyway, listen, we want you to subscribe, the OUC Addict. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll catch you back next week.